Fang have to say about these grand ambitions?
Yeah, Heidi, I mean, firstly, if you want an example of a company that's moving up the food chain here in China from low-value manufacturing to high-end manufacturing, innovation, robotics, then really Midea is the one to watch. It, as you said, bought KUKA, the German robot maker, about a year ago. This is a market, the robotics market in China, it's worth about $11 billion US, but there's plenty of room to grow because there are still far more employees than there are robots compared to countries like Germany and South Korea. But really, Midea is very ambitious in this space. They're looking at electric vehicles, they're looking at pharmaceuticals as well. In fact, they're tying up with Guangzhou Pharmaceutical to try and automate the processing of drugs, but also the distribution. So we talked to Paul Fang, the chairman and CEO of Midea, about these plans, also about the plan to link up Hong Kong, Macau and Guangzhou as part of this Greater Bay Area to drive innovation and technology here in China. It was a fascinating conversation. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Via
our cooperation with Guangzhou Pharmaceutical Corporation, we will first introduce fully automated drugstores where medicines can be picked and sorted, all by machines in this region. Then, we will bring an automated distributing system in the hospitals where pills can be automatically brought to each ward.
How much of a percentage do you expect the robotics side of the business to play as part of the wider business, say in the next 5 years?
The robot business is expected to contribute some 12% to our total revenue. We believe there will be huge and explosive growth in robotics and automation sector in China in the next few years. But yet we are only at the beginning. We hope that by 2020, the robot business will account for some 20% of the total revenue of Midea Group.
There's a lot of excitement around the electric vehicle space here in China, and a lot of growth, of course. And you've got the likes of even Tesla looking to set up a factory, potentially in Shanghai. How much of an opportunity is that for KUKA and your robotics arm of the business?
KUKA has built a leading position in car manufacturing industry. What KUKA really needs to do next is to apply the experience it has accumulated in the car making sector to the general manufacturing industry. There are huge potential opportunities in this area. Out of question, the EV sector is the largest industry in China, from driverless vehicles to car sharing economy. We've set up a research team to carry out thorough studies on the whole value chain of car manufacturing in order to find some good business opportunities. Obviously, Midea Group is not going to produce electric vehicles, but we would like to see if we could enter some areas such as EV battery and power generators.
We've got this very ambitious plan for a Greater Bay Area, China's Greater Bay Area, linking Hong Kong and Macau and Shenzhen. How realistic is that vision, do you think?
The Greater Bay Area has already had a solid foundation of mass production and manufacturing. With the intensive capital and the great talents in this region, along with the supplementary advantages of Hong Kong and Macau economy, we have seen a huge opportunity for Midea Group to further take advantage of the central government's policy. We are ready to seize the opportunity to complete upgrading our own business model and take a pioneering role in transforming ourselves into a technology and innovation-led company. This is also in line with the local government's push in upgrading regional economy.
So Midea also have a pretty aggressive international strategy. They are looking to expand abroad. Currently they get about 50% of their revenues from their overseas operations. They're hoping to increase that fairly significantly in the next 3 years. They want the majority of their revenues to come from their operations overseas. They have a cash pile, by the way, of about $8 billion US. They say they're not on the hunt for acquisitions in the next 12 months, but if they did see something that fit their portfolio, they could pull the trigger on that. And Paul Fang said that Whirlpool and Electrolux could be considered as part of acquisitions that they may look to add to their portfolio. So that is interesting as well. They're also growing their R&D team in Silicon Valley. They've got about 100 workers there crunching the data and producing algorithms and systems for them that they can apply to their robotics business. So it's an interesting company to watch. Investors have been rewarding them for their strategy, by the way. Shares are up about 80% so far this year. The company has a market cap of about $50 billion US. Robotics is a key focus, as he said, growing from 12% to 20% in the next 3 years here in China, but it also a very competitive space. And the likes of ABB, they're currently the market leader, that Swiss company here in China. We've spoken to the CEO of that company in the past, Mr. Spicehofer, and he is not taking his eye off the ball either. So expect more competition in China around the robotics space, and expect to see some developments, as you were saying, in the pharmaceutical sector, the healthcare sector, and electric vehicles. It is exciting times in terms of automation here in China, particularly in Guangdong province, where I am today.